Hello everybody, this is Sara Perry and this is my channel. Welcome today. Any newcomers out there, hello to all my regulars. Great to have you all on board and listening, and thank you for all your comments. It's really appreciated. If you'd like to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so, please do, and let's open up the audience even more. And if you'd like a private reading, do look at the special offers and products that I've got on offer at www.saraperry.me. Now, today I want to talk about clarity. If you are unclear yourself, how are you supposed to get that across to anybody else? How are you supposed to, how can you be heard properly? If you're kind of talking in riddles, then everyone's going to hear you talking in riddles, and the situation's going to become more confused. So the message today is to clarify maybe the goal, the situation, clarify how you're feeling, um, clarify maybe what you want in life. What is it you want to manifest? Do you want a big house? Is that going to be the big dream in your world and that's going to sort everything out? Do you, when you've had an argument, um, you know, clarify why you're feeling the way you feel, why you're angry, clarify what the biggest priority is in your life, maybe. Clarify if you want a new job, what job you actually want. Clarify, get all the different details and make a list, or maybe write a letter to whoever it is you need to write to, maybe the universe, or write to the person that needs to hear you, and make it really clear. Put it in writing first to yourself. You don't have to actually send it. But talking about letters and writing things down, the written word is probably the least clear way of getting a point across, okay, in general, because we cannot see in the written word the emotion unless you are writing the emotion. Now, often when you write something in answer to a question, and I've seen it on social media many times, you can read something really differently than what it's meant. People are often fired by emotion as they write something. So the message is, wait till you are in a really clear space, grounded, centered, and you're just calm, and there isn't really any feeling before you answer something. Read and reread again, because when you're in a bit of a tizzy or you're on a downer, someone could write something to you as a message, pointing something out, which could be really useful feedback and not a criticism, but you're taking it as a criticism, or you're taking it as another, another thing. The last straw, that person hates me. It could be that you've had a massive argument with three people and they've all pointed out your faults, and then somebody comes along and says, oh, I just wanted to say to you, when I was last there, I thought this might help if you do this. And they say it in that way. But because you're in such a tiz about, you feel like you're being judged everywhere, criticised. We've talked about judgment before, how we presume something. This is exactly the same in the written word. It's the same. We presume someone's thinking something because we're reading what's written. So for the person that's writing, if you're writing a message, if you're writing a letter to somebody, professional, the important thing is to write it without emotion, in a way. So you're actually getting what you want very clearly across. If you write a negative, people don't read the negative, as in, if you say, don't panic, someone will only see panic. We only hear panic. So the best way to reformat what you're writing so someone will understand it and digest it in the right way is, if you don't want someone to panic, is tell someone to let go of panic or panic less, and change the way you write things. So the written word is important because obviously if you read a book and it's written and it's not interesting, you're not going to read it, right? You read a book because you're drawn to something. Maybe you're drawn to a cover because emotionally you're drawn to it, and then you read the content and you think, that isn't what I want. So writers of fiction or of anything, you know, need to write something in a certain way that people are going to want to keep reading. So when you write an email to someone, or you're writing an answer to a question, or you're asking someone about something, you want to be writing it in the way that they will digest it enough to maybe answer you in the right way, or to take it on board. You know, I mean, it's all very well when you're angry with somebody to say, you did this, you did that, you did that. If you're doing that with a anger, if I was just reading those words, I mean, what you could do right now is to write a letter to someone that's really upset you. Literally just write a little note or a message on a piece of paper. It's what you'd love to say to someone, right? And then step back and read it as if you're the person receiving it, and see what you get from that. And you probably get a completely different feeling. It could sound a lot worse than you mean. It could sound very critical. It could sound very judgy. It could, you know, it's the way to get clarity is to be clear. You know, keep things simple in your life. If you keep the goal very simple, you know, you're very clear. You know, somebody to say, oh, I want to be happy. Well, what will make you happy? What is happiness to you? Maybe, you know, just write down a few things that give you happiness, bring you joy, aspects of your life that bring you joy, and then bring it all together into one format, you know, one whole thing. And say, okay, well, it looks like actually being outside is the one thing that brings me joy, you know? It's like if you're looking for a job, and people say, oh, well, I just want a job. Okay, well, what job do you want? You know, I'm not getting a job. I've gone for every single job. You know, I'm constantly sending out CVs. I'm constantly sending messages. What a waste of time if you don't actually want the job. And maybe the universe gets that because you're not being clear. It's like you're asking too many questions. You only have to ask the universe once. You don't have to ask it 80 times. I mean, yes, we can affirm it for ourselves so that we believe it, right? But we're not asking a million times. If you really are asking, if you really mean something, say you want to leave someone, you want to tell someone you're leaving, if you really mean it, that person will hear it because it will be very, very clear. If you're just shouting obscenities and saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave you, they ain't going to take no notice because you don't really mean it. You're not clear in your own head. You're firing on all guns from emotional because you're angry. Okay, so this message is to really consider what you're being clear about in your life, to really start creating some clarity. Start, you know, if you're a bit lost, if you feel like you're kind of, you know, falling down the rabbit hole again and again and again, that you still are disillusioned by what the messages are, what the reasoning is, you still feel judged, you're still feeling panicky, you're not centered, then first of all, stop, get a piece of paper, or maybe get, if you prefer vocal, get a recording and just talk into a recording, just offload, maybe ask somebody, a friend, to discuss things, you know, just use them as, it's almost like just, it's just getting ideas, you know, it's getting all out of your head, and then start connecting the dots, and then bring it all into a whole. Discard the things that really aren't that important, that are just flowery decorations. You know, we add, we embellish, we create, you know, we're telling things, we're embellishing it. You know, if someone asks you, how are you today? Fine, if you're not feeling fine, is not really clear. Why are we afraid to say, actually, it isn't the best, you know, it's not the best day, but I'm getting there. Thank you for asking. Simple. Clear. Are you good today? No. Do you want to do this? No. Or are you happy about this? Yes. Do you want a commitment? No. Okay. It's all very clear. You know, why are we afraid to say how we really feel? You know, it's much simpler just to pull the plaster right off and to make a statement and to be honest from our heart, and then we are heard. Consider that today. What are you embellishing, complicating, creating more of a drama out, and start simplifying and be clear. Tell someone how you feel. in honest, simple terms.